I'm Nick the History Kid. I'm a young patriot who loves history. Today I'm in Newburgh, New York. The Hasbrouck House behind me was George Washington's longest-serving headquarters during the American Revolutionary War. From April 1782 to August 1783, General George Washington made this home his headquarters. It was the longest he stayed at any headquarters throughout the 8.5 years of the Revolution. This house is the first property acquired and preserved by any U.S. state for historic reasons and was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1961. The first part of this house was built in 1750, and we know that because of this stone up here saying, "In the year of our Lord, 1750 AD. George Washington would look out of this window at Beacon Mountain across the Hudson River. That is Beacon Hill, where Washington's troops had a commanding view of the Hudson River to West Point. This is George Washington's bedroom, where he spent nearly 16.5 months. This is where Washington's aides planned the ending of the war. This room is the forerunner to the Pentagon. In the months that Washington spent at Newburgh, he made some of his most important contributions to shaping the American Republic. It was here that Washington rejected the idea that he should be a king after the war. He created and awarded the Badge of Military Merit, which is the forerunner of the Purple Heart. Washington also circulated a letter to state governors that influenced the writing of the Constitution, finally announced the cessation of hostilities, the armistice, right here. In this room right here, George Washington made the decision to end the War of Independence. This is where some of Washington's aides slept. Notice the curtain to keep the warmth in the winter. The house in its current state was built in 1770. This is the parlor, where conversation was held after dinner. This is the everything room. Over there is the table where George Washington and his staff had dinner and supper. Over here is the table where George Washington's servants would bring the food to the table where they ate. We are now at the west front of the building. As you can see here, we also have another date stone inscription saying when the house was complete, 1770. Right next to it, we have another stone inscription stating Mrs. Hasbrook's initials. In 1777, these boxes were sunk to the bottom of the Hudson River. With their tips just below the surface, they were intended to keep the British ships from moving up the river. At West Point, these logs were used to also stop the British, but they floated on top of the river instead of at the bottom. This is the Tower of Victory and is the first and only monument commemorating the peace that followed the victory in the American Revolution. By now, you may have guessed that George Washington is my hero. These historic buildings cannot be replaced and must be preserved, whether they're in New York or New Jersey. Until next time, I'm Nick the History Kid, and remember my state slogan, New Jersey, from the Revolutionary War to the Jersey Shore, both history and fun awaits you.